ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host with the most, as always, Francois878, and today we're going to be talking about Update 17. This is going to be a short summary video for Update 17. I'm just going to try and briskly touch on all of the topics, all of the major changes in this update, and I'm going to do more focused individual videos on everything as I get to it. But I wanted to just do a quick summary just to tell you, I mean, because this update is massive, and it's insane, and there's just so much to it. In the background here, you see me obviously doing the Parkour 2.0. It was a little tough for me. I definitely failed a couple of items, perhaps too many times for what for what it is. But you know, it's completely going to change the way we play. I've been playing this game for a year and a half, and it is I love it. I love the new double jumping, the aimed glide. You know, those are a lot of fun, and they make you feel like such a badass. And also the reduced hit rate on enemies because you're doing the cool parkour stuff is also really helpful. The aimed dashes, or whatever they're called, are going to be a little bit more tricky for me to get a hold of, to really be able to effectively use. The wall latching is interesting, as you can see here. It's weird. I'm not sure exactly right now how to implement it in combat, but I'm sure it has its uses. Now, moving on, though, obviously the biggest part of pretty much any update, or one of the biggest parts, is the new frame. And the new frame for this update is Equinox. And it possibly is one of the best support frames we've ever seen, with seven different abilities that both, you know, the day abilities do damage, and the night abilities heal or do crowd control stuff, or put enemies to sleep. I think that Equinox, it just as a single frame, has a lot of variety and will definitely keep people interested in continuing to play Equinox. I think that with two different ways to build her for night or day, or both, I think that, you know, she might be you know, tough to build for at first, you know, unless you're going for something specific. I think that she's also going to work well with pretty much any team composition. I think that Equinox is going to be a great support character and really is going to do well amongst many team combinations. But moving on, obviously, Parkour 2.0, we've been waiting on this forever and a day. Everybody is absolutely loving it. I'm loving it. Maybe some people aren't loving it. But Parkour so far has absolutely been awesome. You know, all these changes, they make you feel, you know, maybe not like an actual ninja, but definitely it speeds up the game. Getting rid of stamina is awesome. I love not having to worry about my sprint anymore. It makes me feel like more of a badass 100% of the time, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Now, obviously, the chroma changes are kind of weird. If your chroma's energy color was any type of green, it would affect your stamina, or things about your stamina. So now chroma's green color will now affect your holster speed and reload speed instead of stamina, which I think is a really interesting, you know, I think it's really interesting for them to have taken that route. I think there was other things that, I don't know, maybe this makes sense for some people. I think holster speed obviously is completely useless, but reload speed could potentially really affect people's builds. And I think that makes green energy on chroma a little bit more desirable, whereas I think most people run, you know, the ice build for the extra armor. I think that having this for chroma, you know, might increase build diversity for chroma, which is great. Also, a bunch of the arcane alternative helmets for a lot of the older frames got changed because a lot of them had to do with either stamina increases or decreases, so they've all been changed. they're still parkour related. They're just they've been worded differently. Now, the next big thing in Update 17 is the Uranus tile set expansion. We are getting the Underwater Lab tile set from the Grenier, and Teal Rager is back in a new badass boss fight. Of course, I'll be doing a video with that. I've played a couple of missions, and it is badass. I'm really loving the new tile set. We got a preview of it in the Tube Men of Rigor, obviously, but we did not see the Sharkwing stuff, and I'm a big fan of that. Arcwing was something that I think they missed the mark on. I think that Arcwing had a lot of potential to be really cool, and I think going from, just doing a normal mission to Arcwing stuff, even if it is Sharkwing, quote unquote, it's a lot of fun, and it's very, very cool. I don't know, maybe I'm maybe I'm being overly excited about this whole thing, but I think that the new tile set is unique and interesting, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But the next thing on our list here is the new utility mods, which usually work as they're mostly parkour related, and you get another utility slot above your 8 main slots right next to your aura slot. I'm not loving how they set this particular utility slot up. I was under the impression that they were going to nerf the aura mods, and your utility slot was also going to add to your... I'm gonna do a whole nother video about this. I'm sorry, I don't want to waste you guys' time in this video. The utility slots, I thought they were gonna do them differently, and I'm not really happy with them. It's probably the thing I'm least excited about for this new update. I don't care for them, honestly. They're just not really for me, and that's sad, because I think that the utility slot was something that was, really going to be exciting, and that was really going to be a cool part of this whole Parkour 2.0, but for right now, honestly, I have no interest. Honestly. There's a number of new enemies, mostly being in the Uranus tile set, of course. A bunch of new... They're not new enemies, they're just reskinned enemies for the new tile set, mostly Grenier. They look pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about them. Lots of new stuff. Even if they're just reskinned enemies, I'm usually a big fan of of seeing different stuff and fighting slightly different enemies. But of course, we also had a number of new weapons introduced. The Cool Star, the Harpack, the Grappler, the Achenbrunt, and the Twin Gracata. I knew how to pronounce one of those 5, and I'll give you a clue. It was the Gracata. Oh god, I'm not sure about all those. But I'm going to be doing a video on each of them. The Grappler is an Arcwing primary. It's a cannon. I'm excited to see that. I saw pictures of it in the preview. It looks pretty badass. I'm pretty excited to try that out. The Cool Star is a secondary... I think it's a secondary? I think it's a secondary. Don't quote me on that. But it's a handheld rocket launcher. A cluster rocket launcher that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The Harpack is an automatic harpoon gun, because, the semi-automatic ones weren't badass enough. They have to be automatic now. The Achenbrunt is Teal Rager's custom axe and shield set. They look pretty badass. I haven't had a chance to try any of these out yet, but so far I'm liking the way they look. The Twin Gracatas, I mean, what else? What else do I need to say? Nothing. There's also a number of new modifications in Update 17. A ton of stuff. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but a number of them are for parkour stuff and being able to increase your movement. There's the new dagger mod, which makes stealth attacks lethal, which is really handy because a lot of the daggers suck. There's also been a bunch of game mode improvements. I'm not going to go through them all right now. I will more than likely make a whole new video because it seems like it changes a ton of different missions. So I will go through that on a different different video. But the Kubro expansion, we got our 5th Kubro breed. I do already have one. I'll have a video coming up with that one shortly. I'm excited about it. The Chesa Kubro is going to be pretty awesome. From what I can gather, it's going to more or less be the carrier of the Kubros, and that's why I'm excited. I love my carrier, and I love my vacuum, and if they finally have a Kubro with that ability, then that is going to make me very happy. They also added horse armor, Kubro armor, which, you know, nobody cares about because it's silliness. God, I don't even have enough time to go through all this stuff. They added, obviously, a bunch of cosmetics. They've added all that feature the new cloth physics that they've added into the game. All of them look really, really badass. I'll be doing a separate video, kind of like a little bit of a fashion show, showing all of them off, because they all look really interesting and really cool and really unique. I thought they were, oh great, they're gonna just copy and paste for Sandana's and change the designs a little bit and be done. But no, all 4 of these look really cool. I'm really, really excited about it. They also added a couple of other little I guess user requested features, being able to toggle weapon visibility on the Lisette. I'm not sure if that extends to in-mission or not. I'm not sure. I'll have to try that out and let you guys know. Also, Alt Fire has officially been moved to mouse wheel 3. Now you'll be able to aim down sights with every weapon using the right mouse button, where normally some weapons had an Alt Fire on that button. Now you'll be able to aim down with that button, and the Alt Fire function has been moved to the mouse wheel. So that'll be handy. There are definitely a lot of guns that I choose not to use because I like aiming down the sights. I don't care what anybody says. Then next on the list, there's a ton of new mods for the Conclave. I don't do a whole lot of Conclave stuff, but it looks like a lot of different stuff, anything from increased damage to certain types of damage, to stagger, blocking effectiveness, shotgun spread. There is a lot of different stuff there. Ooh, a specialty Daiku mod too. I might have to do a little bit of a Conclave video and test some of those out, because those seem pretty cool. Oh man, there's a ton of new mods for the Conclave. They're really going ham on the Conclave stuff. I'm glad that the Conclave is doing well, because I think PvP, every once in a while, I'm not a PvPer in Warframe. I don't pretend to be, I don't say I am. But, you know, sometimes having something a little newer, different, you know, is fun, and that's kind of what the Conclave is. But the last couple of things here on my list, shotguns obviously got a huge buff. The Heck is obnoxiously powerful now. I'm going to do a whole video on that, though. All of the shotguns actually basically all increase damage. Their projectile damage after projectile fall off has been increased for all shotguns. Reload speed on a couple of the shotguns, projectile speed on a couple of the shotguns have all been changed, and now enemies ragdoll like crazy when you kill them in close quarters, which is awesome and appropriate for your shotguns. Now, all of these changes affect some or all of the shotguns, except for the Phage. The Phage does not receive any buffs in this patch, which I'm not really... I don't think I've ever really used the Phage past getting it to 30, so honestly, I don't know if it's good or not. Frost changes, obviously we've seen those in a couple of dev streams. I'm not going to go into details, but from what I've heard from my clan members, the Frost changes are great. Also, the Supra got buffed. I've got a video about that coming as well. A bunch of bug fixes and changes, a bunch of PBR additions, which is awesome. I love it. The Kubro puppies got a new set of idle animations. Oh, it's so cute! Oh, it's so cute! And a metric shitload of bug fixes. So that is pretty much all of Update 17 in a nutshell, in a very quick, rushed manner. But that's it. I'm going to be doing episodes on the most important parts. Oh, the quest. How could I have forgotten the quest? The quest was last minute cut from Update 17. It's going to be added as soon as possible once they get it finished and, you know, they're happy with it. So I'll be probably doing an actual live playthrough of that, hopefully, if I can get some people together and not fail miserably at it. But thank you guys very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Update 17 stuff. Like I said, I'm going to have videos on each of these individual parts that are a little bit more detailed and that are a little bit more focused. So please stay tuned. I love you guys. This has been your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.